Hello everyone, Richard here, and today we're going to be looking at the Glock 18C, a DLC weapon available to the Gunslinger. The Glock 18C is a variant of the fully automatic Glock 18, featuring compensator improvements to allow for easier handling during fully automatic fire. Like the Glock 17 and 19, it is chambered in 9x19mm parabellum, which will automatically draw ire from stopping power enthusiasts. Despite the frequent appearance of this weapon in movies and video games, it lacks the widespread adoption of other Glock models, save for perhaps the Utah Highway Patrol. In-game, the Glock 18 is only available to those who purchase the weapon through the in-game store or if a player owning the weapon is in the lobby. Otherwise, the Glock is a Tier 4 Gunslinger weapon, costing $750 for a single pistol and $1,500 for the pair. It can be upgraded once for $1,500 to Tier 5, providing a 12.5% increase in base damage. With a level 25 Gunslinger, the Glock deals 47 damage and 51 damage when upgraded. This puts its per shot damage just under the 1911 and 1858 revolver with no damage bonus. While this makes the Glock the lowest damage per shot gunslinger weapon, using this info alone is obviously overlooking other important stats for the Glock. Anyone who has seen this weapon in a movie or video game knows the Glock 18 is known for its extremely high fire rate. A single Glock 18 fires at 800 rounds per minute, while dual wielding will increase the overall output to 1200 rounds per minute. With fire rate and damage, we can calculate its burst damage per second shown in the chart on screen. We can see a single Glock 18 has a DPS of 627, while a pair has 940. Upgrading the pistols will see only a mild increase in damage, about 8% for both single and dual wield, but we will explore this later. Clearly, the dual wield has a higher DPS than the single Glock, but weighing in at 8 kilograms means you could take Tier 4 Deagles in its place and still have 2 kilos to spare. Again, this is something that we will explore later in the video, but something to keep in mind as we look more at its stats. Reload times for the Glock are fairly fast, assuming you have speed loader and are reloading before a magazine is completely depleted. Full reloads, especially for the dual Glocks, are quite slow. If you are taking two pistols, make sure you reload before running dry whenever possible, as the difference in times is almost a whole second. The ammo stats are where the Glock 18 makes a name for itself in the Gunslinger perk. Its magazine size is 33 rounds with 462 rounds or 14 magazines in reserve. Compared to all the other Gunslinger weapons, the Glock has a much higher ammo count. Despite its lower damage, this makes the Glock ideal for dealing with weaker enemies in mass. A Deagle, 500 Magnum, 1911, and Glock can all kill a clot with a single headshot. The Glock just does it for cheaper and has more rounds on tap. The Glock also has the highest damage per magazine at around 1500, while the 500 Magnum and Tier 4 Deagles sit around 1000. In addition to not wasting a ton of damage on trash, there is just simply more available per magazine for the Glock. So now that we have all the relevant stats behind the Glock, we need to bring it all together and start drawing some conclusions and recommendations from this data. First, while the Glock has a respectable DPS, it is easily outmatched by the Desert Eagle and barely keeps up with the 500 when all weapons are the same tier. This rules it out as the replacement as the DPS king for the Gunslinger. However, its fast fire rate, large magazines, and high damage per mag make it an excellent anti-trash weapon. Prior to the Glock 18, using the 1911 med pistol and maybe even the Rhinos were the best anti-trash weapons for the Gunslinger. Now the Glock is probably the best all-round solution to this problem, if not an expensive one. The HM Tech 101 has a theoretical damage efficiency of 30 damage per dash, while the Glock is 32 damage per dash. However, the HM Tech 101 is capable of one-shot headshotting most trash enemies, meaning it can kill 1.5 trash enemies per dash, while the Glock can only kill 0.86 enemies. Granted, this sort of math is a bit too ideal and has a lot of assumptions baked in. The takeaway from all this is that while the med pistol is the best value for trash killing, the Glock is probably overall a more useful weapon. So how would I recommend using the Glock 18 as the Gunslinger? Well, first, I'm not a big fan of dual wielding the Glocks. Single firing becomes very difficult and you will often waste ammo going for headshots. Second, the weight of 8 kilograms is a bit heavy and limits you to only taking another dual set of pistols at Tier 4. That means no Tier 5 Deagles, which, if you are new to the channel, are very, very good. I would also avoid upgrading the Glock 18 unless you're playing Endless, as the 8% damage per second buff is pretty negligible and definitely not worth 1500 dash. Instead, get a med pistol or give that money to a teammate. Plus, the base Tier 4 Glock does its job perfectly as is. My recommended endgame loadout for the Glock would be to take it with Tier 4 Deagles and SPX, or take the Deagles at Tier 5 and take a medic pistol as a backup. Use the Desert Eagles and the SPX for dealing with big Zeds only, and use your Glock 9mm and medic pistol for dealing with trash. Obviously, you can swap the Desert Eagles out for the AF 2011s or the 500s, but the Deagles have the highest DPS and are a bit more forgiving to use. Overall, the Glock is a welcome addition to the Gunslinger arsenal and definitely makes the perk a lot better at dealing with its only weakness, large numbers of weak enemies. Thank you very much for watching. The next video will be a rapid fire overview of all 10 perks. Let me know what you thought of the Glock 18 in the comments below, but until next time, happy hunting!